Welcome back, Curry Crew. Today we have another delicious recipe for you. This recipe is a amazing masala vegetable cutlet recipe. It is one of my favorite go-to snacks. You could also have it inside of a sandwich as like a really delicious masala type sandwich. So there's so many different ways that you can not only eat it, but also so many ways for you to enjoy it. So without any further ado, let's jump straight into our recipe. We're gonna interrupt your video right now just to let you know that we're on the road to 1,000 subscribers, guys. So if you haven't done so already, click that subscribe button down there so that you can watch all of the new videos that we post every week. We're gonna post 2 videos every week. You wanna make sure you see those recipes. So click subscribe and then punch that notification bell so you know when the videos come out. And now, back to your video. So for our cutlets, the first thing we need to do is take 1 cup of garden peas and then we're going to place them into a blender. Now we don't want to cook them or add any water or anything like that. We're simply trying to blend them up so that the whole peas become more of a combination of smaller pieces as well as completely blended. So blend until they are nice and finely chopped, and then next we're going to take half a carrot and we're going to shred it using a grater until we have about 1/3 cup of shredded carrots, or you can just buy the pre-shredded stuff. It's a lot easier, whatever works for you. We also took 1 cooked beetroot and we diced it into little cubes to use later, and it basically comes out to 1 medium-sized beet or a 1/3 cup of chopped beets. Once that is done, we're going to take a 1-inch piece of ginger and we're going to chop it into a fine dice, and then do the same with 2 to 3 cloves of garlic, and then finally take 2 to 3 green chilies and then chop them up finely as well. Now we're going to take a deep pan, and into this we're going to add in 1 tablespoon of oil and allow it to heat up for over 5 to 10 minutes over low to medium heat. Into this we're going to add in our green pea mixture, and then we're going to follow that up with our ginger, our garlic, and our green chilies, and now we're just going to give it all a nice mix. Cook this mixture for about 5 minutes, and then into this we're going to add in our shredded carrots as well as our beets. Give it another quick mix, and now we're going to saute this mixture for about 5 to 10 minutes or until our veggies are cooked but not too mushy. Once it is cooked, remove it from the heat and add it into a large mixing bowl. Then into this, we're going to add in 2 cups of peeled and boiled potatoes that have been cooked and have been mashed. Give it all a nice mix to combine the potatoes into our veggie mixture. Now we're going to allow this entire dish to cool down, and we're going to do that before we move on to our next step, because our next step will include adding our seasonings, one of which will be salt. Now if the dish is still warm or hot, adding salt is going to cause it to release water, and we don't want our mixture to release water or else it's going to become too wet. So just let it cool down, and then once it cools down, we will add in salt to taste, follow that up with half a teaspoon of turmeric, 1/4 teaspoon of red chili powder, 1/4 teaspoon of garam masala, half a teaspoon of cumin-coriander powder, and then finally we're going to add in 1 tablespoon of lemon juice. Now give it all another nice mix to combine the spices with our veggies. Then we're going to take 2 slices of bread and we're going to first soak them in water. Once they are fully soaked, remove them from the water, squeeze out any excess that might be left behind in the bread, and then add this bread into the bowl. The bread is going to act kind of like a binding agent for our cutlets so that they don't break apart when we try to fry them. Along with the soaked bread, we're also going to add in 1/4 cup of breadcrumbs into our mixing bowl. Give it 1 more mix to combine all of the ingredients into our final mixture. This whole time we also had our oil heating up on the side so that once it's hot enough we can start shallow frying our cutlets. So next, take a small handful of your mixture and form it into a oval or like a rounded shape. Then you're going to coat it with some more breadcrumbs and then just set it aside on a plate while you shape up the rest. Once your desired amount are shaped and ready to go, you can test out your oil by dropping a small amount of your veggie mix into it, and if it sizzles and floats right away, you are ready to fry up your veggie cutlets. So add your cutlet into the pan and cook it on both sides for about 2 to 3 minutes or until it is nice and crispy on both sides. Once it is cooked, you can remove it from the pan and allow it to cool down, and you can start cooking up the rest of the ones that you had formed as well. Now this recipe will make plenty of these masala veggie cutlets, so if you don't want to eat all of them in one sitting, just wrap it up. You can easily store it in the fridge for a few days and make some nice, fresh, hot and ready cutlets whenever you are in the mood for them. In the end, this is what our cutlets should look like. You can enjoy them on their own, or you can also add them into a sandwich with some coriander and garlic chutneys, some fresh onions, some shredded cheese, and then dig in and enjoy that way as well. But for now, let's head over to the taste zone so that I can dig in. So guys, here is our final dish. It smells so good because of all the amazing spices and different vegetables and everything that we have in there. It is straight hot off the stove, so I'm going to take a bite and dig right in. Guys, it's so good, so flavorful. You have a nice crunch on the outside, but you have the amazing softness on the inside with the potatoes and all of the other vegetables that we have in there. You have all these delicious flavors from all of our spices. It is so great that you definitely need to try this out for yourself at home, because you're gonna fall in love with it just like I love it. So definitely make this at home. Let us know how it turns out for you, and keep on cooking.